I was gonna head out, and that's when the sheriff came up the road, and he was like, hey, the fire's changed south. We need to get out of here now. And so they didn't know where my buddy and his mom lived. And so they're like, does anybody know where they are? You know, can you show me? And I was like, you know what? I'll just go do it. So I hopped in my truck and I flew up his driveway. His mom was still outside, and I told him, you know, the fire's coming south. We need to go now. That's when I punched it with my truck. I probably hit 50, 60 miles an hour through that black smoke. And the real horror started when I went onto the other side of that smoke. I wasn't prepared for that. The fire was completely engulfing the trees. The trees must have been 40 feet high. I mean, they're pine trees. And the fire was from the ground all the way up to the top of them. And I could actually feel the heat through the windows of my truck. I probably made it 45 seconds past that black smoke, and then my truck shut off. I had no power in my truck. I had no gas. I had no brakes. I had no steering. I couldn't do anything. It had just totally shut my truck off. And so I waited until my truck got down to about 5 miles an hour. And I just said to myself, you can't sit in this truck. You can't. So I hopped out and I started running. And I think I got about to the front of my truck, and every reflex in my body turned me around. And I remember going to jump back in the truck, and I remember I got angry at myself. I was just like, what are you doing? You can't get back in here. You need to run. You only have one option, and that's it. You have to run. And so I turned around and I pulled my t-shirt up over my mouth because I knew that I could not breathe this stuff in. And it was so hot. It was so hot. It was unbelievably hot. As I was running, you know, I couldn't really open my eyes because of the heat. So I just remember looking down and making sure I was on pavement still. And as I was running, I was screaming as loud as I could possibly to keep all the air out. And there was a faint honking. I just heard a really faint honking, just beep, beep. I didn't know what it was. And like a second later, beep, beep. And then a second later, beep, beep. And so I opened my eyes quickly. I didn't see anything in front of me. So then I closed my eyes and I turned around, and that's when I saw these just super faint headlights. I mean, that woman saved me. If it weren't for her, I'm pretty sure another 5 seconds and I would have been gone. At this point I was watching my skin drip off, like drip off. It was my skin was melting. And I was watching it drip off my arms. I was watching it drip off my legs. And I had noticed a big chunk was falling off of my face. And so I hopped in her car, and I just repeatedly kept telling her that I loved her. I love you, I love you, I love you. And this family was amazing. I hopped out of my car or her car and started screaming, and they immediately knew what to do. Without even thinking, these people immediately just jumped on getting water dumped all over me. So honestly, that family, especially, they're probably a big reason why I don't have as big of wounds as I do, because they got water on me so quick, and it was an unbelievable amount of water in such a short time. As much pain as it was for them to douse me with water, it felt so good. I could finally not have to concentrate on the pain. They couldn't really tell the extent until I got here to Seattle, and then that's when they were able to take warm rags, and they wiped off all of my blisters, and were able to notice that I didn't have any damage on the back of my head. And so they were able to lower it to 2nd-degree burns on, I think they said 27% of my body. You know, there's really a different mental clarity when you get to kind of stare death in the face and realize that, you know, this is it. And it really makes you think about a lot of stuff. I'm just grateful to be. I'm really grateful. I'm excited to be here. Honestly, I'm excited for the second chance. I'm excited to go home and see my kids finally. I'm excited to go home, rebuild my home, and I really want to help everybody who lost their homes in the fire. I'm a construction worker. I own my own construction business, and so does a couple of my friends. They own construction businesses, and so I'm just excited to get together with them and start rebuilding the whole community. I'm just super happy to still be here. So, I mean, I've been to Afghanistan. I've never had my brain try and shut me off like that. Physically, I can handle just about anything, but that was a mental game unlike anything I've ever had.